All right, so here we're going to go from wet to wet. So I'm going to start in a corner.
Can you explain what wet to wet means again?
Yeah, wet to wet means I'm always touching the wet icing in the bag to the wet icing on the cookie. So I do not get a ridge where the icing has crusted over. Because if this icing crusts over, I'll tell you what, why don't I just let it crust over and you'll see it. What do you think about that?
Good.
I'll ruin my cookie just for you.
Just for you.
Okay. So if I go around, and say I stop and decide.
Go to the mall.
Go to the mall. Yell at one of my kids, fuss with it. So here I am fussing with it.
A lot of yelling going on in this house.
Yeah.
Last time you yelled at your husband. Now you're yelling at your kids. Do you have a dog?
And a guinea pig. He's the only one that behaves. Sits in his little cage and squeaks. I got a bubble here. There we go.
So right now you're giving us an example of what would happen if you...
This is what happens when you're like, oh, look, I've got some bubbles. Let me get rid of those.
Instead of continuing
to fill. This is what not to do.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I'm going to ruin my piece just for you.
Just for...
Now, in my little chickadee one, I did this on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Was it two different colors?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you kind of want the line.
Then you want the line because you're creating a picture.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let this, let's see if we've got it. That crusted over. I came back to it. Now look what I got. I got a line that's not going to go away.
Look at the line.
Yeah, it's not going to go away because it's crusted over.
That didn't take long. And you've got hot lights. So it would happen even faster if you don't have the hot lights.
No, it happens less. It's not as fast without the lights. The hot lights dry it out faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's happening fast. Okay, so you can see what has happened. Now I got this nasty line through here. It's not going to go away.
Can you tilt it up to the camera?
Yeah, I sure can. Hold on. So you can see the line? See it? I don't know if the camera can pick it up.
Barely, but I can see it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an absolute...
There's an absolute outline, if you can see it. There's one down here, all the way around here, where I let it sit, and it crusted because I was messing around getting rid of bubbles when I should have been getting all the icing in. Okay? And yeah, I know it wasn't huge. I want to do that, so I forgot I need to use this guy. Okay, so here's this guy that sat to the side with his little piece that is dry now, by the way, and all I have to do is take that off.
Take your stopper off.
Take my stopper off and see the icing will move. I want to outline this guy. I actually need to use this guy, so let me outline him real quick. Whoops.
Oh, what happens now?
Oh, no!
That mistake is made. Not that anyone would ever, do that.
No one ever makes mistakes.
With royal icing.
Oh, yeah. So you just touch it. The outline isn't really going to be seen. It's going to be filled in.
Yeah.
So, who cares if it's two pieces? Okay. Let me fill this guy in.
And I would guess this would be a whole lot of that practice stuff that people talk about all the time.
And this really doesn't take much practice. As long as you follow the recommendation, I think that's the biggest thing, is just remembering to touch it, to lift it up, then let gravity do the work. Gravity, does it for you.
Yep.
So it's just remembering to do that. So a light fan over this, or the hot lights, and the faster it cools and crusts over, the shinier it is. Okay, so we're going to fill in all these pieces. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do the white.
Okay.
So I'm going to get this out of the way.